Hi there. Yay. Hi there. Welcome everyone to our monthly product webinar. I sincerely hope that you can hear me well, you can see me well, and you'll be also able to see whatever I share because I was prepared. So again, first of all, thank you so much for joining. This webinar will be recorded and the recording will be sent to you via email, and it will be also uploaded to our YouTube channel. So if you will have to run, I don't know, maybe to work at some point, all good here. You can later come and check out what we were talking about. Also, I wanted to say that, okay, that's kind of new functionality here. So okay, here now you have to see the pop-up. We're starting a new newsletter for power users, mostly like for architects, for creators, so for those who's responsible for their Fibery workspace. And we will do our best to bring you some weekly tip and tricks. So if you're very, very pro user, probably you will not share something, but you're also very welcome to share any ideas that you, I don't know, somehow occasionally found out and that can be helpful for others. So please subscribe to it. And yeah, I think that we can start. Let me open the chat. Yes, by the way, yay, hello, Renato. You can ask here any questions. And let me share my screen with the webinar plan. Okay, you have to see my screen. You have to see this incredible presentation prepared. So what are we going to go through today? We are going to see what happened new in permissions and user management and what is planned next. Then we will see which changes affected the sidebar, what had happened on the whiteboard, and we'll go through other updates which I failed to group at some point with a high-level topic. Then we will have a Q&A part. You're very welcome just to drop your questions anytime. After that, I will be happy to answer anything. So yeah, but even before the permissions and user management, I also wanted to share with you that we started the referral program. Probably it can be beneficial if you have friends that want, probably even, I don't know, for the personal usage or for smaller teams that want first to try and are not applicable as startups. So please know that you can, anytime you can click on the name of your workspace, go to the settings, and here you'll have referral and credits page. So you can generate unique referral link, and if someone uses it, they will get some bonus that we can use. They can use after the trial ends and like be used for the subscription purposes. And if they upgrade to another plan but free, you will also return like some amount in credits. So I think it's a very nice opportunity, like for personal knowledge management use cases, and maybe for small businesses, I believe it is. So yeah. Okay, now let's continue with our plan. Yes, some stats to start from. Not February, oh my God, I forgot to change it for the March, but March had 4 Thursdays and 4 releases. Good notes that the stats are correct. We released 40 features and we fixed 78 bugs. And I think that's the month when our fixing flow was more successful than our bug creation flow. So we fixed more bugs than we invented. And I think this is what you call a success. Also, some random stats, maximum number of entities one of our customers have, and like customers, I mean like they're using Fibery and paying for it, is almost 3 million records. Usually we guarantee that Fibery has to work fine if you have 300,000 records per database. This person is absolute champion, and I can promise that most of it are integrational entities. But I think that this number is pretty impressive. Although I can promise that if a single database has more than 1 million records, we'll be able to store it. We will not be able to visualize it. So yeah, we had one team call, and also thanks to you who commented that on Michael's Facebook page and on LinkedIn, we planned one company retreat, not a super proper one because we still have visa challenges, but I'm also very excited. So wanted to thank like all of you who had this effect on our team, saying that we have to reunite and not be only remote. So thank you guys for that. Also fun memes, because sometimes it's nice to smile, you know, they're not connected to the text. Okay, so regarding permissions and user management, like this is one of the areas we have in focus right now. So we plan to release continuous improvements probably till the end of the year. So first of all, now it's possible to understand where entity access came from. And access page, better user groups management, and user as a database, I believe haven't brought any specific new functionality, but it's rather polishing and improving discoverability. So let's check out how it looks like. So now if you have any space and you can like want to go into the like builder mode with the access and databases, so this page now looks like this. So now it's much easier to see like who has which kind of access, manage it as well. So we like kind of redesign the pop-up and we call it a feature. And here you can also publish a space to the web. So if you want this page be searchable and like public to everyone on the internet, you can like click on this button, publish it, and this can be a nice use case for the user guides or for like public roadmap kind of thing. So now this part is here. Also, if I like collapse this part, there is such an icon which appeared to be here. So now it is called show database. And the only database which we have right now is called user. So we made user a proper database. And again, no new functionality, just improved UI, which I hope will improve the user management part, especially if you have bigger teammates, more teammates. I mean, like, I don't know, 50, 70, now it's much easier to manage them. So first of all, now it's much more easier to create rules. For example, like when new user appears in the workspace, check their domain, and if this is a customer, assign them to their company. Or if this we have a new user, generate for him some onboarding tasks. So now it's like much easier to manage. Also, now you see like this is kind of a table. You can now easily filter by the user role. So, user role, like it will just help you to understand, for example, like how many members do you have, how many admins do you have, all of them. So it can be also like more handy to see which users are you paying for, like kind of numbers. And also from this page, you can invite other users. So I think it's like a bit more discoverable in terms of invitation. And remember that you can always invite someone by link. So you can like generate a link and everyone who joins can become, for example, an observer. So it makes sense if you want like someone to join and see the data, but not get charged for that. Also regarding like the user management, as you see, there is like kind of a people space. And before it was not possible to do anything about it. It was like uneditable. Now we like made some changes, and now it behaves like a normal folder. So you can delete people field, or you can recreate it, or it can become a part of the employee management space or something like this. Wanted to note that like many people complained that people space on the left menu is a bad thing to have, because when you invite freelancers, they can see each other. When you invite customers, they can see each other. I wanted to note that we have specific permissions implemented specifically for these cases. So guests cannot see each other, and we are planning to improve this behavior overall. And simply deleting people would remove users from the left menu, but they can still be found via search, via assignees field, via API. So please don't like remove this folder in terms of believing that it will improve the permissions part, because it will not, but UI can be cleaner. That's true. And another change, now under the users part, you can see the groups thing. So, you know, on the Pro plan and High, you can use user groups to assign permissions. And before it was like not that easy to find which groups can be sources of permissions, where do they live, and it was hard to find them all. So now you'll be able to find them all here and even create something from scratch. So I can create a new database. I can create it like for the gate template, and I can call this database, for example, team. Allow people to join multiple groups. I think this is fine. So now we have a team database, and we can say that now, for example, we have, I don't know, let's call it development team, and I can link who are the members who will join this particular team. I can do this from here. I'll be able to see it here. So there we go. Then we have another team which will be called sales, or in fact, teams can be either like divided by the direction role, or they can be like more horizontal. For example, managers, I don't know, freelancers. This is up to you how you want to organize this. So yeah, here you will see all the databases which are source of permissions. And also you can now, like if you open any user, for example, Catherine, sorry in advance, now you will be able to delete it like from here. So not just from the user settings page, but overall anytime on the user's part. So this is what we have about the user management and permissions. What is going to be next? Next, we're going to share space, to give ability to share space, excluding some databases. So how it works now, if I give access to the space, at least viewer, it means that you have at least viewer access to all the databases. And imagine we have space, there you have 5 databases, 4 of them are public, 1 is private. So it took quite a lot of time to say, okay, no access to the space, and then viewer to all of them, but this one, so the path was relatively long. We want to improve this logic, that will just make everything easier. Overall, we're focused rather not on new functionality, because most of what we wanted to deliver, we delivered, rather on simplification and better usability. Also, as you mentioned, user was, let me go back to this. So user was here as a separate database above all the spaces. Now it's a unique database, and you cannot add new ones, but it is planned that databases can also live outside spaces. This can be helpful for generic databases, for example, like document, because document can live in any space, in fact. I don't know, maybe note, something like this. Team, if you don't have employee management space, this can also be like relatively the standalone one. So we will see how it goes. And user visibility, like understand which kind of access the specific user has and what can it see. Well, it will be released someday. Also, we forgot about the part, understand where entity access is coming from. Not we forget, I forgot to say it. So now, if you have like sensitive information, for example, employee card with salaries or salary or some financial report, which is an entity, it's important to see who has access to this card. So for example, this is my employee card. And if I'm curious who can see this kind of data, I can go to the share button. Here now we have this kind of like, I can share it with 30 users. And if I click on it, I will be able to see everyone and their access level. Okay, what can they do to my card? Thanks to God, we're very transparent, we trust each other, so I hope no one will ruin it. Only at some point we will find some memes inside the employee's card, but this is absolutely fine. So, and of course, like, if you think that like something is broken for you, it will be easier to understand why maybe permissions were applied incorrectly somewhere. Okay, I think that we are done about permissions in user management. Let's go to the next part. Gentle reminder, you're very welcome to ask questions and I'll be happy to answer them after. Sidebar, I think most of the improvements were released in March. So what do we have now? April. We did it in February, and in March we were mostly like polishing it. So what is possible now? Search in both tabs. Let me share this screen. So now I'm like in a global workspace tab here. I want to see like webinar example, and I will also have results from the private part here as well, which can be kind of pretty handy. We also improved drag and drop in the left sidebar. I mean, I am very proud of it because on the previous webinar, I like struggled a lot and like everyone mentioned it. So improving it after that was like a chef's kiss. So now if you want to drag and drop something, you like, you know, you can see where it is going to drop. And if it cannot be dropped, there will be an icon that represents it. You know, it sounds very simple, but I know what kind of a technical challenge it was. Take into account that in the left menu, you can have databases, spaces, views, documents, smart folders. There can be tons of items shown. So thank you so much, Fibery team. I love you. This like isn't my life as like so much, and I really hope that it will affect like yours life a little bit as well. Next time you're going to restructure or redesign the sidebar. And last but not least thing that we've done, we a bit improved the smart folders behavior. We had this complaint before. So when you open the space and there is a smart folder, you click here and like nothing happens. You click on the item, and before only item would be opened, but now it also opens all the nested views. So we sincerely hope that it will improve discoverability of something you prepared for your teammates, like improve the like onboarding if it involves the smart folder. So I also think that's like nice thing to have that probably you'll not mention as a big feature, but the one that affects your life a little bit. What is next? We think that our sidebar is like, I think like when you release a feature, it can be like unusable, usable, lovable. And I believe that many product areas in Fibery are rather usable than lovable because we deliver functionality, but then it's hard to find the time and focus to polish it. So Sidebar received recently quite a lot of love. And I think that it was also like moved to the lovable part. From my perspective, if you do not agree, please share here or in community. We're very like happy to hear the feedback, but most major points that we accumulated across the customers' feedback were solved. So no more UX updates are planned. And we are still going to start working on the homepage. I mean, like the one that is generated automatically, where users can see relevant work. It's still a big challenge. We planned to start working on it in March. Didn't happen. So April is a new hope. Let's go to the whiteboard updates. Here we had like some sticky note improvements, just rather about polishing, and we mostly focused on comments again. So now you can react and comment, and we have a comment sidebar. Let me show it to you. Boom, boom, boom. I can open. You know, I just think that like last time I also had whiteboard issues, and maybe it has to do something with Livestorm as well, because like I failed to produce the bug we had on the last webinar at all once the webinar was over. So like here we have a lot of comments, and they can be like anywhere on the whiteboard. So now you have this wonderful section, which is called comments, and you'll be able to see all of them. And also when you open like a single comment, let me do it like this. You can react to them with some images, and a gentle reminder that you can upload your images as well. For example, like we had a very nice Slack collection, which we just uploaded into Fibery, and now I can put a screaming gal to anyone I want to. I really value this opportunity. I think it's very important. And like maybe also excited llama and screaming gal, because I love animals. This is it. I think this is like the last month that we are working on the whiteboard as a part of our focus. So whiteboard sharing is something like what is in testing. So it will be possible just to share a specific whiteboard. It took more time than we expected because, again, you have to deal with permissions, because you can like show entities on the whiteboard, what has to happen to them. And if there's a hierarchy, what has to happen to the hierarchy? Do you have to be able to open the card or not? These kind of questions. So it took a bit more time than we expected. So sharing whiteboard will be released. Sections will be also improved I mean, bugs will be fixed, maybe some logic will be redesigned. And in the future, you can probably, like, I'm not sure there will be any more whiteboard features released, but there will be like bug fixes and small improvements here and there. So yeah. The next part is weekends. I mean, it's a strange thing, like, to group the features we released, because it has to be called, I think, weekends and timelines, because the reason why we improved the weekend settings is because it was shown in a bad way on the timelines. So now we have weekend days setting. Let me show it where you can find it. You can go to the settings again. Everything happens in the settings. And here we have preferences. So you can define which are your weekend days, because in many countries, like for example, like Israel, or maybe someone who has 4 days working only, or someone has 6 days of working in a week, you can specify like which days are off for you. So I think if you don't have like classic Saturday, Sunday days, you will find it very helpful. And it's also visible now on the timeline and on the calendar views. The next thing is, I think it's a bit more, it's a little bit more helpful for everyone. Let me open the timeline I prepared. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, no. Okay, there we are. And we are on the timeline right now. So you can click on the items. We cannot enable dependencies because I think we don't have relation. Why? But we do have relation. Okay, let's create a new timeline from scratch. I want to see feature. And I want to enable dependencies here. Once I enable dependencies, now I have this kind of switcher, avoid weekends. So then in this case, you can also like choose when the dates have to be shifted. So again, this controller will appear only in the case when you have dependencies first turned on as a relation on the same database. And if it is turned on a timeline, then this switcher will appear. No improvements are planned in this area in terms of weekends, but we're going to have like a proper Gantt chart with multiple levels of the hierarchy. And on the frame where we talk about future improvements, I will even show you the screenshot. I mean, like the real one, the prototype, which is not available yet, but still something we can show. So what else was delivered? You can invoke batch actions from table view on a right click. So what do I mean here? Here, for example, we have like top insights table. I can choose few options. And then with a right click menu, I can like easily decide what has to be changed. So table view was, I think, the only one that was not covered. Also, next improvement that was delivered is required field special UI. So for example, here we are on a board view, and the feature has the planet fields and some scores as required fields. So before, creating items on a view which have required fields was a bit more painful. But now if I click on new feature, see all the required fields. Right now, I can add them right here, add new feature, and I can like put the values directly right here. And I think like it's also a very nice thing to have. It will not be visible because it is not shown here from the fields tab. But if I like add it here, you will see that, not effort, what have we added? Impact, I think. Yes, medium will be visible from what have we added. The next thing we delivered is Fibery MCP server. So you can put all Fibery data and ask Claude to analyze it and have, I don't know how to describe it because I'm not feeling, confident in this technology, but this will be like, you will be able to have kind of a smart agent when you're using it. So if you know what MCP server is, you have to be happy. But overall, you can just check out our guide and use external tool to get the answers from your Fibery data. Quick, I don't know how to say it, like sneak peek, but without a peek, just a sneak part is that we are also working on a really smart agent right now. So before you had like this workspace Q&A AI assistant, but it was like poorly working, to be honest. Like the rate, it could answer the questions, but you have to understand which questions to ask to have a nice answer, and the raise of those questions was very small. So right now we're working on a smart agent. I hope we will deliver it in April, and you will be able to ask like, find the recent patterns in the customer feedback, or calculate how many paid customers have we received within the last 46 days, or like what do we have to focus on next based on the like onboarding metrics and product strategy part. So right now we're testing it on our side with our data. It has like very nice answers, so we'll be happy to share it in the future. You can still find like some updates on that in community here and there. We also like added support for collections within automation formulas and if branches. Maybe no one mentioned it, but you know, once you need it, you will see it, you will feel it. And now you can display state unit as an icon on all views. So just a gentle reminder that when you are here in the fields tab, if the field has ability to be shown differently, it has this kind of icon, and you can choose like display as. And now the state field also has like this opportunity, like takes less space, and like in this view it was not pretty like usable because we have this grouping by states, but maybe on a timeline, for example, or in collections when you have much less space to visualize something, this will be handy. Okay, I think like this is it, what we updated in terms of the product itself. We also updated a few templates, customer relations, meeting notes, and influencer CRM. To be honest, like if you're curious, I recommend you to check it out because it has nice AI prompts that work there. For example, in customer relations, you will be able, so the structure there is that we have a company has contacts, and inside a contact we have an aggregation like what do they find concerning, what do they like, are they our ally, or are they like either not ally or they do not like our tool, so they're on the opposite. And then AI analyzes all this information and suggests you which communication strategy can you have, so it kind of accumulates and gives you like a really nice strategy which you can use to talk to your customers. So for example, if you have like high touch strategy with a big B2B customers which have different kind of contacts, you can find this pretty helpful. And you can also adjust the prompt to other use cases you can have in mind. For example, one of the recent use cases like we covered, that retrospective notes are generated automatically based on the comments that teammates posted to the sprints related stories and bugs, and also it makes some notes which tell you like what was delivered, when, what was postponed, and etc. So yeah, we update our templates and add those improvements there. We also released a new post, Fibery versus Notion honest comparison. The previous one I think was like 3-4 years old, maybe 5, who knows. And this one took a month to be written, and Michael struggled a lot, so we do not expect new blog posts to come, at least maybe this month in the nearest future. But I think it's a pretty awesome one because it covers concepts, how they are different, what's the different approach, and when to use each of those tools and why. So we do not say that Fibery is better or Notion is better. We explain how different they are and in which cases which tool to choose. So if you think that this can be helpful to someone, or you have like something to say about this, you're very welcome to share. And the last page of this wonderful presentation before we go to the Q&A part, what is going to be next? So we're also going to improve to focus on the import improvements. Here we're very looking for the feedback. If at some point you were struggling to put data from one of the tools you use into Fibery, please let us know what was the struggle, how did you expect it to work, what was the workaround you used. Please, like if you face something like this and you're open to share this feedback, you can even like ping us in community or in intercom chat, and we'll be happy to hop on the interview or just maybe ask some additional questions, because that's the area we're going to improve. CSV like is the most generic one, will be probably first in line to be improved, and I think ClickUp as well, but ClickUp is the trickiest one, I think, just because the API is so interesting and not friendly in terms of sharing the data. The next thing we are working on right now and hope to deliver soon is Gantt chart. Let me share it, how it looks like. Ta-da! Hope you can see it. So as you see, like here you have tasks and 3 levels hierarchy in left menu. So we have initiatives, and then we have epics, and then we have features and something here. So, and you can like resize it. We also have dependencies. So we definitely try to avoid having a Gantt chart in the system, saying the timeline is enough in most of the cases, but no, like that's what we're working on right now. If you have items where name generated as a formula, probably found out that it's painful to create such kind of items from search or from any kind of the views. So after the required fields polishing, we emphasized this problem once again and are going to focus on it. We started working on a mobile app. So, I mean, like, it's probably very optimistic saying like we started working, but it's something that we are actively discovering and making a plan and kickstarting right now. So we'll keep fingers crossed. And smart AI Q&A agent that I already tried to advertise to you already. I think this is it in terms of the products updates that we released. I will stop sharing the screen for now, and I will check out all the questions we have, and it's also the time to ask those questions for those who was a bit late. Again, this is recorded. Recording will be sent to you, uploaded to the YouTube, and let me find it. Links. Promote again. Is notification? Yes, we are having a new newsletter for champions and architects. So you're very welcome to subscribe for it and receive kind of updates or tip and tricks that we have that can improve your workflow. Questions? Yes. Okay, are you planning to implement limiting of access for admins? Like we want to have a user salaries in Fibery, but we need admins not be able to see those. So here, this is a very good question. So of course, I will make a step back. Yuri, by the way, Chesh, very nice to see you. So we were thinking that there have to be only few admins in the workspace, maybe 1 or 2. And we will better improve permissions in other areas. For example, I can create a space view, make a creator there. And what was like blockers, not ability to create automations, no ability to run scripts. Now creators can do this. Now we indeed faced the issue that technical admin is not, cannot have access to some pieces of data. And this is a problem that we are solving on the background. I mean, like now it's in a, how to call it, designing the solution, taking into account current permission model that we have. So we agree that this problem exists. We don't have a solution yet. This is why we don't have a feature planet in the backlog. So this is something that like we're thinking of right now. And I don't have good promises for now, but we'll note your feedback as always, and we'll keep fingers crossed that it will be solved. So yeah, but thank you so much for the question. I love it because I was also saying that admins don't, like, there have to be data we can hide from admins. So I'm happy that customers are on my side. So yeah. Are there any kind of dashboards? Classic, no. Fibery style, yes. Let me show it to you how to make those absolutely undiscoverable Fibery dashboards. So what we suggest is to have dashboards in a document. So for example, we say that this is our product overview, and I say like these features we are working on right now. And what you can do next, we have this kind of shortcut, and then you see a list of views, or you can like start searching by them by name, and you can embed views inside the tool, like here. To make it more dashboardy, I think it's even possible to have 2 columns layout and to show it, I don't know, feature board and stories table. Okay, like this. Oh no, why cannot I? Yes, I can. And like, does it look ugly right now? Yes, but just because I think that those views are not designed to be shown on the on the dashboard. So you can embed any kind of information, have layouts with 2 to 4 columns, and embed the views. If you don't have the view that you want to embed, you can even like create something like a feature table. I don't have yet. It shows that no, sorry, there is no such a result. But you say, okay, I want to create, let's say, a table. So I create a table. It asks, what do you want to see? I say I want to have features, and there we are. So you can either use something that exists already or create something temporary. And you can do this not just in the document in the left menu. This can be done inside any entity for sure. And we'd recommend to have documents as entity in the database. So you can embed everything inside. I think this is also a nice thing to share in a newsletter, because I believe it's a helpful one exactly for creators. As a team, let me probably, I will try to find out, do we have a nice one in the company? Okay, so there we are. For example, this is how our company dashboard looks like for everyone. You join, and maybe we can even like make it wider. Yes, so you can come and see what do we have about the sales, what do we have about the marketing, what are like the primary reports that we have at the moment, what do we have in terms of product and engineering. Does it look that like perfectly fancy? Maybe not. It can be improved. It's still not a proper dashboard view. But I think it can solve most of the use cases you can probably think of. I'm done answering. Let's go to the next one. Planet and fact days functionality in the timeline should be improved. This is a good thing to know. If you could probably, like if you could probably tell a bit more right now, or in the chat or in community, that will be very helpful. Because we haven't had any like negative feedback about that so far. So knowing what have we missed and how it can be improved will be very helpful. So yeah. Okay. It will be great to have possibility to customize cards on the board, not only switch on off fields, but also rearrange it to optimize used space on the card. Let me double check whether oh no, let me share the screen first. Correctly understood. Okay, feature board. Yeah, so you mean like not just drag and drop it here, but define which of the fields where have to leave. For now, what we have, you can, in the cards part, you can choose the size of the card, and it will adjust how much space does the every of the fields take. I think that somewhere in the backlog we have like a generic feature, improve units on all the views, like the way they behave. But if you, by any chance, have any example in another tool for a specific view, like for example, I know, Notion handles this on the board perfectly. I will be happy to give this as a reference once we focus on a specific area. From what I mentioned, usually like our developers don't like to switch the context. So we were working in a timeline, we were delivering improvements there. It affected a little bit other views as well, but board view as well as calendar view is waiting for its turn to receive some love. And before we were working on timeline, before that we were working on tables and on the whiteboard. The only visualization that is unlikely to receive any improvements are reports, because we think that they are almost perfect already. And diving into that is a serious thing, and this is why they have the lowest priority. But yes, any references will be very helpful. Just wanted to share this card size in case it's not that discoverable, because I found out it not on the first year of working in Fibery, definitely not on the first one. Is it possible to generate tags using AI? Not directly. So we have AI in automations, technically. So we have a feature and we can create a rule. And for example, when feature is created, then update some fields. I don't know, for example, effort, and there is like an option to call an AI. But unfortunately, types of the fields where AI can be called are limited. You can call them in text, for numbers, but it cannot operate with multi-selects, single selects relations. Of course, there's a workaround because nothing is hard-coded, you know? So the workaround I can suggest is to have kind of technical text field and a prompt where you ask it to choose from the options, and you list that options like with a text. For example, when new card is created, give it a tag, either new or marketing, or very important or something. So you define by the prompt what are the options and ask AI to give only one of those. And then when you have a text field populated with a tag, there'll be another automation running, which is triggered on this text field, and based on the text field text adds a tag comparing by the name. So is it possible in a normal way? No. Is it technically possible? Yes. So yeah, if this explanation was not very nice one, you can again ping us in chat, and I will try to record a video for that, because I'm not sure I want to spend on this a lot of time right now, but we'll be happy to record a separate video for you. Is the gallery view planned to be implemented? Really miss this view. Now it's only possible to show images on a whiteboard as a cards for org charts and other kind of things. And on the gallery view, you can choose cover to be shown, like image to be shown on the view. Gallery view is planned for some point, but gallery view is connected to the files field, to the way how do we store files, like what can be done to them, because it affects the logic that has to be used for the proper gallery view. This is why I know that soon, in a few months or so, we're going to start redesigning files field. And I believe that once files field is redesigned, proper gallery view will be like a logical improvement to deliver, to showcase how amazing this file field has become. So is it on the top of the list of our improvements? Definitely no. Is there hope that it will be delivered in a reasonable time frame? I would say yes, but this is not a promise. No promises at all, but just the hope to have into our plans. Oh my God, I thank you so much for all those questions. It's so nice to know that you're curious about something happening. Updated form creation with conditional forms is a real need to turn forms into actually useful tool. There is no current date, time option, and time fields. Any info on that? Regarding the forms, I sincerely hope that they will receive some love this year as well, because for me, it's exactly an example between usable and lovable features. The problem is that the person, like our team of developers is very small. I mean, like we have 13, 14 developers for everything. And that means that they specify in different areas. And the person who delivered our forms, yes, it's a single person. He is also working on permissions and on the mobile because he has a great expertise in that. And also sometimes he goes somewhere to deliver some like small improvements here and there as well. So switching his focus to the forms is possible, but that means that either mobile will be postponed or permissions. Permissions definitely will not be postponed anymore. We're doing it for 3 years. We'll learn the lesson. That will be the top one priority. And then there will be like a chance if mobile will be paused at some point, because it also involves like a designer who is also like has to work in other areas as well. And in this case, there is a chance that he will switch to forms. But I would say that there is no a proper plan for that, because for now it's not clear what will be the scope for the mobile. So is there a hope? Yes. Are there like any time frame I can share with you? Not yet. Okay, I think that was nice. Yes, plan to improve forms, multiple columns, generally being able to build a form like with Coda. Thank you so much for this question as well. You know, after the webinar, I'm going and putting all the feedback into Fibery and then sharing with others. So like this kind of interest as well as the upvotes are very helpful, but I don't think that my answer will be very different from the one I shared already. Target process as a reference? No, don't use this word, please. I mean, like, a lot of things, exist a lot of things in target process that did not exist in Fibery on purpose. So you can be like more concrete and saying, what exactly do you miss? And then I will be happy to provide an answer, whether there is the hope it will be in Fibery or not. Because, for example, like, quick note, target process is another tool for work management acquired by Aptio and IBM. And it's like a previous product our team was working on. Michael was a CEO, etc. And this is why it was also relatively flexible tool. But many of the things delivered there, we decided not to build a Fibery purpose. For example, like it was a very popular request to convert views from one to another, like convert table into board. It was very like incredibly time consuming, effort consuming, and complicated technical challenge. And the usage was super low. So it can be helpful, but like not proportional to the requests. So I know that teammates don't want to repeat same mistakes again. So yes, concrete examples will be very helpful. Gun chat, very welcome. Yes, I also hope they will be. Cut customization. I will quote this forward to the team and we'll see what they say. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I said I like all the questions and answered. We're going to have the next webinar next month. So I will also hope there will be a lot of things we will be able to share with you. And thank you so much for the comment, for all the questions. I mean, like, this made my day so much better. So yes, Cześć from Poland, from Belgium. In Belgium, I think like French is also used. So bonjour, salut, and thank you so much for your time. Have a great day and end of the week. Bye-bye.